Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for such a good response to my video a couple of days ago where I posted constructing the pages of a lap book. If you haven't seen that video, do check out my channel and watch my latest videos. But today I'm coming on to share with you how I've created some ephemera. Now these are the ephemera pieces. It started off with this one. So what I've done is I've layered it up with digital adverts that I've printed, and then real ephemera and just lots of layering of fabrics and neck curtains and stuff like that. There's a second one. I am going to show you in a moment some pre-recorded footage of how I created this one, and they're all just going off a very similar concept. And this is a really small tag, just nice and layered up. So what I'm going to do is, let me just get my journal. So this is the lap book style journal that I created in the previous video. Let me just lay it out. So it folds out like this, and I wanted to use these as some embellishments. So if you watch further, you'll see that I like that embellishment there. It just makes up a really nice little bit of a page. And for example, these little things, you can slip them inside envelopes. You can add them to pages. You know, you can add that to there. Granted, my pages are very small because this is like a traveller's notebook size. So you can see there that this page is actually just over 3.5. You know, the page behind is 4.5, so they are quite small pages. But I think they'll make brilliant little pieces on the page, especially little tags. You can make that into a tuck spot just behind. So I thought I would share with you how I made this. So like I say, now will be some pre-recorded footage of me creating this one. There's a look at them all. I will put some photos of these up on my Instagram as well, so if you want to save this as inspiration, just go on over to my Instagram page and you can press the little save, which is like a little flag in the corner, and it will save it to your like save section in your Instagram. So I hope you like this video. Do stay tuned and drop me a comment at the end if you found this useful. Bye. So the first thing that I'm going to do is choose some ephemera. Now this is one from the Graphics Fairy. Graphics Fairy, yep, that's the name. And I've just cut that out. Previously I've used some from Artie Mays. So she has, I think, a recipe or a cooking one, and there's lots of labels and things like that in there, so I've used that one as well. But just use whatever you've got. You can use genuine ephemera if you've got that as well. Now the first thing that I want to do is, obviously this is really well aged, but it's also printed onto white cardstock, so it is really thick, which is what you want for the back piece. But I want to rough up all of the edges, so I take my scissors like this. Obviously make sure they're not super sharp scissors, these are years old, and I just guide it down the side. Be very careful with it. And what that does, it just creates that type of effect down the side. Hope you can see that. And it just gives it that little bit more of a authentic vibe. You know, on times that I've done this where I've actually sliced into the paper, that's fine as well, because again it makes it all look really nice and authentic. There will be little pieces that come off all over, but don't worry about that. Okay. You can get tools to do this as well. I think it's Tim Holtz who does the distressing tool, but I just like to go with the cheap version. So that's that. So I hope you can see that the edges are a little bit ruffled, and I'm just going to take some distress ink, and this is Vintage Photo, and I'm just going to distress the edges, because what you've actually done there is you've exposed quite a lot of white paper. So just distress the edges. And what I also do is crumple it a bit, so it's crumpled like that, and I'm going to distress here and here where there's like a little ridge. That will add a little bit of definition, and you can get your ink pad directly and just drag it down those areas, and again it will just give it a little bit more, you know, don't go overboard, and if you don't like it, you know, you can smear it out. Same thing I'm going to do on the back, distress the edges, because again it's just plain white. You know, I try and imagine that this has been in someone's wallet for a while and all the creases are going to weather quite a bit. Sorry if the camera's rocking, I can see that it's rocking overhead. There we go. And then what I also do is I don't have a darker stain. I'll just get rid of all these pieces. I think Tim Holtz makes a darker one than this, like a walnut colour, but I don't have that, so to just give it a little bit of a darker look, just add around the edges as well. Okay, so that's much more aged now. It will settle down as it goes into your journal as well. It will all flatten out. You know, nothing stops you putting this into your journal just as it is. I love this type of thing, but I just want to make some cluster embellishments here. So I'm going to add some other ephemera pieces on the top. Now I'm using some real ephemera that I've got because I'm making a journal that's got you know, memorabilia in it that is true to the photos, and I'm probably going to keep it for myself, so I'm happy with that. So I'm taking some tea stained net curtain here, and I'm just going to cut into it and then pull it so it creates like a bit of a, oh, it doesn't pull very well in all of the parts, but oh, I actually wanted a piece here, never mind. You just have to go with what you're getting sometimes, don't you, with these things. When you try and do it one way to age it, it actually comes out another. So yeah, that's quite a cool piece there, or I might do that edge, because that's much more aged. But you can, with a net curtain, you can sort of pull it about a little bit and it will, usually. And it's probably because it's quite straight. Just give it a tug about. You can do cheesecloth as well if you've got any cheesecloth. Any material, just to add a little bit of extra textures, because this is all about the layering here as well. So there, that's coming up a little bit, so I'm going to be inclined to like fold it over, so I'll give a little bit more distress to that side as well. So I also want to add a little bit of plain around the top. So I'm just going to fray this a little bit more because it's not very frayed on the top. And all those little frayed tags there, you know, all the strings that I've just pulled out, I'll leave those attached. So there we go. And maybe I'll add that after. I'm going to layer some more ephemera over the top. I did select out a piece before starting the video. Where's it gone? There. So this is the ephemera. Now this is a receipt for something, and this is an advert for a violin. Now I'm happy to rip this up because I've got all scans of these. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to rip this bill part here, you know, that says the total and the date. So it's from 1934, which I'm like, wow, that's amazing. So I'm going to attach that onto there. And I'm just going to do it like that. Actually overhangs a little bit on this one, but I don't mind, I don't think. Maybe I might rip it down a little bit, because I want it to be a little bit smaller if I can. So I'm just going to get my ruler, rip it like that. Okay, so that can go at a nice little angle like that. And I might add, not sure if I'm going to add that. Maybe I'll add it underneath. So this is, you know, you just have to play around with the layout of all of these bits and pieces. And I've also got some tickets here. I'm not sure if you can see those. And I thought it would be add quite a good backstory if there was a ticket to go and purchase the violin, you know, that type of thing. You know, bus journey or something that someone had to take to buy this. Okay, quite like that at that angle. There we go. And also, again, from my original ephemera pieces is these little bits of string. I'm just trying to include those wherever I can as well. So I'm just going to cut off a little bit of this peachy orangey colour, because I think that goes really well with the original stamp that's there. And I'm just going to attach that over the top, I think. Or shall I do it like that? Yeah. think I'll do it like that. Now there's a couple of ways that you can go about attaching it. You can use a stapler. This stapler is rubbish. Oh, it actually went through them. So you could use a stapler to do it, because I think that is maybe how it would have been done at the time, or you can use your sewing machine. So I'm going to use both. So the staple is in there, and I'm also going to use the sewing machine. So I'll just pause the video. So I've given that a sew there, and I've just done it in no particular order. So I think that creates a really good cluster. Now what you could do with that is, I'll just get my journal so you can see. You could add that as like a main decoration to a page. These pages are quite small and these are quite big, so these will probably be used as pockets, but you know, it's a whole page decoration, that is. So this is a tiny page here. Stick it over the whole page and give it a little bit of definition. I think it'd be better that way, so all of this was hanging out of the book. But you know, that is ultimately an embellishment for the page. Could go on there like that. I think that looks really cool, doesn't it? Or what my initial idea was, is to go inside envelopes, to go inside things like this, you know. You could even just paper clip that onto there, because then it's got journaling space on the back. That's my stitching. I love crazy stitching like that. Other options in the journal, I like that there. That might be actually where it goes. Yeah, I do like that. Go places like that. So it's all down to however you choose to make them and wherever your inspiration takes you. I'm going to get making some more now, and I'll hopefully show you those at the beginning. I'll film the intro and show them you all, so if you stay tuned right to the very end, thank you so much. Do leave me a comment down below. Thanks guys, bye.